Hey everybody, welcome back for the kickoff of Season 29 of Alliance War. I'm back with the crew SAS, also known as Super Andromeda Skrulls. Super eager to get the season kicked off. For our first war, we've matched up against 4 Loki. As you know, they are a perennial Masters Alliance. They're full of some really cool people, some really good people. So pretty excited for this one. We know it's going to be a good test. Definitely going to have to play sharp to try and pull out the win here. But here we go. We're fighting in Tier 1, see if we can shake off the rust. And I have 5 fights lined up. We're starting off on Path 6 in Section 1, hopping over to Path 1 on Section 2, and then finishing off our war with 1 fight on Boss Island. It happens to be a Hulkbuster with Rage Extend and Return Policy. That's a fight that we took last season, if I recall correctly. I'm super comfortable with most of these. Obviously, Nick Fury in Section 2. Anytime you're fighting a Nick Fury, that can get sketchy, even if you are bringing a hard counter. So just have to be really wary there. And here's our first attack team for Season 29. We are bringing in Trusty Archangel. Not new for us. He's at rank 3, Sig 60. He's going to take 4 of our 5 matchups with the Tigra, Elsa, Bloodstone, Nick Fury, and the Hulkbuster at the end. Black Widow Clairvoyant, she doesn't really get a lot of war usage from me anymore, but she gets to tag along here. She's going to take on that King Groot with Indomitable and Vigor in Section 2. And then Magneto, House of X rounds out the team. We're just going to take use of his pre-fight ability along the way. So here's our first fight, Node 3, Aggression Fury, and Strike Back. This is Archangel versus Tigra. Nothing new here. We're just going to parry heavy, land with as many Neuros as we can. Just have to be mindful of whatever level of Mystic Dispersion that the defender has. I usually tend to assume that if it's a Mystic Defender, they are going to have Mystic Dispersion at level 5. So just got to be mindful there. If I Dex and unintentionally push you to an SP2, just have to be aware of my spacing, and I need to get the heck out of the way, because that is essentially the only way that I lose this fight, is if I lose control of her specials. She goes unblockable, and then I rupture myself to death. So there you go. I trigger a dexterity buff there, and this is going to be a good opportunity to see what level of Mystic Dispersion they have. She gets to a special 1. It's unblockable, but you can block that first hit. You just have to be able to get out of the way of the second one, and thankfully you have a lot of time to react there. So not a big threat there, but as you can see, our Neuros are starting to roll. We have 4 on her, and she's just melting. I'm going to half cautiously bait this second SP1, but if she doesn't throw it, that's okay. She's going to be dead anyways. And there you go, just over 30 seconds. That fight goes fairly cleanly. Minimal chip damage on her, and that's just 22 hits. Moving on to the next one, Node 12 Power, Focus 1, and Bubble Shield. This is Elsa Bloodstone. Bubble Shield is a newer addition to this path, I think. But for this matchup, it doesn't really matter. It should be over before the chip damage actually matters. I'm going to use a guidance boost from Magneto, House of X, and I don't know, just do whatever Archangel does and let him go to work. This is the homie Karate Mike's Elsa Bloodstone. Definitely not out here trying to give a death to him. So I back out. It's just kind of habit picked up from using pre-fight abilities, because as you know, you may have seen, this may have happened to yourself or an alliance mate. So you go on with Human Torch, you activate the pre-fight, go into the fight, and then all of a sudden you realize that pre-fight's failed. So just for future reference, it's always safe to apply the pre-fight, back out of the fight, then head back in, just to be safe. But you can see this fight's going super smoothly. She's got 5 neurotoxins on her. Not even 30 seconds and she goes down. So there's Section 1. That goes down pretty smoothly. Once again, minimal chip damage on Archangel moving through. So we are headed off to Section 2. This is Node 30, Vigor and Indomitable. We have a thick King Groot waiting for us. This is the homie OJ's King Groot. I was in the same alliance with him a while back. He's a good dude. What's going on, OJ? So for Black Widow here, I have Mystic Dispersion 5. This is the first time that I'm using that as an attacker, so it's going to be pretty interesting to see. But the plan here is to just stay in the Bleed Curse, just so I can gain power quicker, because King Groot is bleed immune. And then I'm going to try and spam my special 2. And that's kind of it. In my head, I know that this is a pretty safe fight. King Groot doesn't hit too hard. Just have to watch out for his shrug ability. That could maybe catch me. But other than that, this should be pretty simple. I end up using a Power Start 1 boost just because I have like 47 of them in the overflow, and I figured may as well get to my special 2 early and just see what happens. That ends up doing a pretty decent chunk of damage. So we're gaining power at a pretty high rate. whenever King Groot gains his buffs back, it's just an opportunity for me to nullify them and get to my specials quicker. And holy cow, MD5. Did not realize the power gain would be that dramatic, and it ends up pushing me to my special 3. Unintentional on my end, but really no harm done to the game plan of the fight. It's going to do a decent chunk of damage. He's at special 1, and I think I get tagged on a dash back. Coming up quickly here, right there. Thankfully, King Groot doesn't hit that hard. He's going to throw a special 2, and we're still in a good spot. If I really cared about the damage here that I take, I'm just really grateful that Clairvoyant has a pretty potent regen ability. And given the amount of times that I get to use my special 2 here, you're going to see me end the fight at almost 100% health. You go almost get pushed to a special 3 again there, but I fire off my special 2 in time. So there you go, I'm back up to a full yellow bar health. And the fight is almost over, but we have full control here. King Groot spent most of the fight in the corner. And there we go, that fight's over. I end at 100% health. But that's pretty much how I expected that fight to go, obviously apart from getting hit on the dash back, which I'm never trying to do on purpose, but it happens. So here's our 4th fight of the war. This is Karate Mike's Fury again, so this is our 2nd fight going. That's a good homie. This is Nick Fury on Node 40 and Buffet and Indomitable. I'm going to use Archangel here. I'm pretty comfortable fighting Nick Fury. All I have to do really is to just turtle up as much as I can, just to discourage him from throwing a special 1, push him to a special 2, and just reparry as much as I can, just to maximize the amount of poisons that are going to trigger on him. And then once the LMD gets removed, I'm just going to full turtle up, bait heavies, and either heavy counter with my own heavy or fire off a special, and I just have to land 1 or 2 Neuros at that phase in order to finish up the fight. So that's a really good start. We get 4 bleeds off the first heavy, so I'm just going to turtle up and I'm going to reparry. And 3 Neuros are stuck here. And I don't know why I delayed my heavy there, but we got super lucky. Ended up tagging him with my last hit of the heavy. Could have eaten a combo easily. But the first phase of the fight is over within the first like 20 seconds. And this is where I'm just going to turtle up. I'm going to try and bait heavies. I don't care as much about the chit damage here. I just don't want to die. So I'm going to take a decent amount of blocked hits. I have a special 1 in hand, so I know that I can fire that in case I get trapped against the wall. And I'm kind of getting pushed back. He's not throwing his heavies, and there you go. I'm going to fire off the special 1 and immediately hold block again, just so he doesn't try and throw that special 1. And the fight's over. So, took a little bit of chip damage there, but really glad with my ability to stay within the game plan there and execute that sharply. So 17 fights, Nick Fury goes down. We're at our 5th fight of the war at Mini Boss Island. This is Node 48, Rage, Extend, and Return Policy. Archangel's the matchup here against a Hulkbuster. The Rage threshold is 6,304, also known as something that's pretty much unobtainable by Archangel, considering I'm just going to be relying on parrying and heavying. I do have a Stormbreaker pre-fight from Odin, and this comes from Tang. He's another dude, my BG. He was able to hook it up, and that means that Hulkbuster shock is going to be a non-issue for me. And this is just a regular fight. I do have to look out for the unblockable buff that Hulkbuster may get if he's not under 100% ability accuracy reduction. And because of Extend, it's going to last for a little bit. It's going to linger. So I want to get into the habit of punishing his special 1 with up like 2 or 3 hits, just to make sure it eats off the unblockable timer. But as you can see, he's at 5 neurotoxins. There's pretty much no chance that he's going to go unblockable. There's no threat to this fight here. He's melting. We're 30 seconds in. We are halfway through the fight, and we're in a good position. I'm not going to punish that. I didn't want to react late, get parried, and then end up eating a full combo. But as you can see, the unblockable doesn't trigger there, so we are safe to punish or back away without fear of getting tagged. And he's at 2 neurotoxins. I could fire a special just to finish it off, but really there's no point. This fight is pretty much over. And there we go. 4 Archangel fights and 1 Clairvoyant fight, and most of the Archangel fights went pretty cleanly there. Unfortunately for us, we do end up losing to 4 Loki here. Good war to them. The final score was 12-16. I think that's a typical kind of first war performance as we all kind of shake off the rust. But honestly, just really glad to be back in the competitive mode of things, and hopefully we can pick up some momentum for War 2 and kind of build from there. And yeah, that's season 29. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll catch you for War 2.